What rock group consists of 4 members, but none of them sing? Mount Rushmore. Like with Iceberg Gaming here, today's World of Warcraft gold farming guide video is going to be an old dungeon that I really don't do as much as I should. It's a very good farm, but just don't have the time. There's so many farms to do in so little time. And as you guys know, I am the laziest gold farmer ever, so I don't always do as many farms as I should. But we're going to check this out. So today we are in the Temple of atal'hakkar, otherwise known as the Sunken Temple, here in the Swamp of Sorrows on the Eastern Kingdoms. Now, it can be a little bit tricky to get to the instance itself, so I'm going to go ahead and go over this real quick with you guys before we get started with the actual farm. So you're going to come here to the large temple here, and then we're going to go down into the temple. All the way down to the lower level. Swim through this water here. Druids for the win, as always. And then we're just going to follow the path down. And then it is right there. So we've made it. Not too bad. This is an instance that I would recommend you run with a speed set, but I haven't been able to I haven't had time to build one for myself, so I am just running with a bear tartar. This is a skinning farm, so make sure you bring your skinning character, and if you are not a worgen like me, make sure you have a Darkmoon Firewater. Now I'm going to go over the route real quick, and then we'll look at the loot and what you can expect, how much gold, etc. But this is what I do for this farm. I'm going to start out coming right in the middle, and so some of the mobs are casters and some are melee. So if they are melee, you can kind of pull them and group them up, but once you get to the casters, obviously the casters will not follow you, so I generally just stop at the casters and AoE, and then we're going to make a right here over this way and group these up on the caster and AoE, loot and skin, and keep going. And we're going to start with the boss over here. Now, the bosses aren't particularly great for loot, but we need them to unlock the rest of the instance. Well, the other bosses, I mean. And so we're going to come over here and hit this shrine, which will summon the boss. And while the boss is summoning, we will loot and skin that guy. And then we'll come over and kill the boss, loot him, because we might as well. And then move along. Oops. Didn't give myself enough time to skin there. And then we are back at the main area here. And we've got a caster right there, so we'll go ahead and group everyone up on him. Or her. It looks like a girl, but it's hard to tell since it's a dragon. And there's another caster there, so we'll grab these guys. Come on, let's go. And group them up on the caster. And then we go this way. Once again, this group has a caster, so we have to pull to the caster, and then we'll AoE him down. Now, this is a vanilla instance, so if you're on TBC Classic, you could potentially do this run as well. Now, this group is all melee, so we can go ahead and pull them to the next group if we want. It's up to you. Either way, it doesn't really matter. And this group is all casters as well, but there's no more groups until the next boss here, so we're just going to group these two groups up and AoE them down and loot and skin. As you can see, this leather is a very nice price, and that is what we are after for this farm. This over here, this looted item value is a little bit inflated because I got a what my TSM seems to think is a transmog drop. But we'll take a look at that at the end. But we're just going over the route now. Now when I come into here, I just go ahead and pop all these guys with my swipe, like so. Ignore the ghosts. They don't do enough damage to matter since we're way over leveled. Then I go ahead and loot over here and check out if any of the loots got missed by AoE looting. These ones did. We'll just come over and grab them. And then the ones in the back also. Now I'm going to soul flicker back to the middle. Now we have to kill these 2 bosses to get the 2 dragons in the middle here to spawn. As you'll see when we get back to the center, they'll come flying down after a little bit of roleplay. And there they are. And we're going to try to meet them in the center before they have a chance to spread out. We're going to try to see if we can AoE them down. Otherwise, we'll have to kill them separately. And we were not able to kill them with 1 swipe, but we got them down pretty quickly anyway. Now we're going to loot and skin them. And then we will go... Whoops, I'm stuck on something. Then we go this way to get towards the final 2 bosses. Group these guys up on this caster. AoE them down. These are all melee, so we could potentially pull them to the boss. So we might as well. If the boss will come to us, that is. Alright, whatever. We'll just AoE. Now, you could potentially ignore this last wing, but it is more leather. So you might as well do it, in my opinion. But if you are looking for more fast runs... You could potentially skip it, but I'll leave that up to you. This is my recommendation, though. Just come on down and kill the last boss. And loot and skin him. And then we are going to teleport to Moonglade. And then teleport back and reset the instance. And it puts us right back in front of it. So we can go ahead and run back in and do it again. Now, each of these runs is taking me about 4 to 5 minutes, so you can improve that if you have a nice speed set, which, like I said, I am just too lazy to do, but I definitely would recommend it if you want to and have time. With another optional pro tip, you can, instead of killing the guys at the second boss here, just go up to the boss and kill the boss, and then they will all come to you. I can't really tell which is faster, especially since we have casters in here, but if you're feeling lazy, you can just stand here and wait for them, and then AoE and loot, but then you have to go back and kill the casters anyway, so 6 to 1, half a dozen of the other. We just finished up our 10 runs. It took about 50 minutes, and our looted item value says about 106,000 gold. Now, I'm going to knock about 60,000 off of that total because of this transmog item. It does not have a sell rate in TSM, so it's probably going to take forever if it sells. So let's take a look at what it looks like if we can. It's kind of just a headband. So yeah, I'm not going to count that. So I'm going to call this about 45 to 50,000 gold in 50 minutes. So around 50,000 gold per hour, which is pretty darn good. Other than that transmog item that we're kind of ignoring, our main source of income on this farm was the leather, of course. The leather is what we are after. We got 447 rugged leather, 365 thick leather, 1 random light leather, 20 thick hides, 23 rugged hides, 5 heavy leather, and some dragon scales. So that is definitely a good haul. And we also have a bunch of greens for disenchant. You could also vendor these if you want, but I usually send them to my disenchanter for disenchanting. To get more like this, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, there's the join and super thanks buttons below. Thank you so much.